To start painting our Hawaiian sunsets, we are going to start with the sky. So if you think of a sunset, the sky is really bright, full of colors, and the colors are blue, purple, red, orange, yellow. The yellow is going to go closest to our horizon line because that's where the sun is closest to. And then we're going to have orange on top of that, red, purple, and blue. So to start, your watercolor paint sets, I'll zoom out so you can see, should be on the side of your dominant hand. So for example, I'm right-handed, so my paint and my water cup and my brush are on my right-hand side. This is easier for you to paint and you won't spill any water as you're going across your paper. So we're going to start with blue. Your brush is in the water. And just wipe a little bit of that water off the brush. We don't want too much water. Dip it in the blue. In order to make these paints work, we have to add water to them. And start at the top of your paper. And there's two ways we can paint our sky and our water. You can dip your brush in the paint, just like I'm doing here. Or you could paint water onto your paper and then add the blue paint and it will spread. So you can kind of play around with it and see which way you like better. So some blue, and then there is purple in your paint palette. You can use it if you want to. I'm actually going to go straight for my red because blue and red together makes purple. Okay, so this effect, this is what we call bleeding. So the red is bleeding into the blue, which looks nice because it makes the sky, the sunset, look realistic. You don't want it to be perfect straight lines across. I'm gonna add some more water down here so that my orange bleeds when I add it. So we'll do some orange next. Filling in those spots. So I'm painting kind of randomly. Like I said, I'm not making straight lines across. I'm letting my colors mix in and blend with each other. This will make it look more realistic. Dip, wipe, swipe into the paint. And then yeah, we're going to end with yellow closest to our horizon line. If you want your color to be darker, more vibrant, you need to use more paint and less water. And if you want it to be lighter, then you're going to use more water. And I'm painting directly over the black marker, which is fine. And then what I'll do is go in with my finger and just wipe the paint off. You can use a tissue or a paper towel as well. So there you have your beautiful sunset sky. The next thing we're going to do is paint the water, but we have to be very, very careful because we don't want our water to touch our sky. So we're going to start down here by the sand and then work our way up. And now for our water, we are going to work with the blue and the green to make like a pretty turquoise color. So the water, I'm going to paint water on my paper first and then do some blue. Maybe I'll add some green in there. That's too green, so I'll add it together a little more. Again, you can paint right over the black Sharpie and we can just wipe it off later. The water, it doesn't really matter how you paint it. It's just the water will be darker in the back closest to the horizon line and get lighter. So we'll be adding more water to the paint that's in the front of our picture. So I'm working kind of randomly in different spots. You just want to be careful with your watercolor brush. Like I'm moving it side to side. You don't want to jab the brush down or jam it down. That will ruin the hairs in the brush. And then some of the hairs might fall off onto your painting. And we don't want a hairy painting, so just be mindful of that. So again, I'm painting pretty randomly. I'm not trying to make everything match or have straight lines anywhere. It looks more realistic if you do it this way, if you just paint random parts of your paper. And like I said, we want it to be the darkest back by our horizon line. If your sky is still wet, don't paint it yet. We can always add it later or tomorrow because we don't want the blue getting into our sky. Then your sky will turn green. So yeah, this is too wet, so I'm going to wait until it's dry a little bit more until I fill in that white line in the back there. Add some more green in my back. And then if you wanted to, since it is a sunset, you could do a little bit of yellow to give it the reflection of the sun. You can put that by your horizon line. You can add a little bit of orange, a teeny tiny bit. And it will make it look like the sun is reflecting into our water. Okay. And I'm not pushing down with my brush hard. I'm holding it pretty lightly. So you can play around with it. See what you like. If you think you make a mistake or you don't like something, you can use a paper towel and kind of try to take away some of the paint. Okay. So there is your sunset sky and your water.